Good evening to you all. Is my voice audible? Okay, good evening. Fine. So, yesterday, what we have discussed? We have discussed that if we apply a force on our body, okay, it will start. It will start accelerating. It will have combined translational as well as rotational motion. Okay. Then we found the angular acceleration of that object. That was coming. That was around 5 fh by I. And direction would be what? Direction would be inside the plane cross. Okay. Now, if you look at this expression alpha, this alpha is given by fh by I. Fine. Now, can you say that is this a condition of pure rolling? If we apply force F at a distance of h from the center and we have an angular acceleration of fh by I, then can we say the condition to be a pure rolling condition? Yes or no? Yes. No, no, no. See, for a pure rolling condition, what I told you, that alpha should be equal to what? Alpha should be equal to A by R. And that is the condition of the pure rolling. No? Alpha must be equal to A by R. In in this case, there is an angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is there, but this is not the case of pure rolling. Because for the pure rolling, we require friction. We require friction. And there is no friction present on this surface. Okay. So friction is required for pure rolling, and there is no friction. So there will be no. So this condition is not a pure rolling condition, but it will have an angular acceleration of fh by I. Okay, did you understand this? Did you understand this? Yes or no? Fine. So friction is required for pure rolling. Now next case we are talking about is when there is a friction on the surface. Okay, when there is a friction on the surface. So can we say mu is not equal to 0? Okay, and that mu is sufficient for pure rolling. Means the mu which is given to us is sufficient for pure rolling. Okay, for pure rolling, for pure rolling. Okay, now somewhere here is the center of the object. Okay, it can be any object. So I will take the moment of inertia of the body as kmr square. Okay, k can be any value depending upon which object we are talking about. Okay, now if we apply a force F at a distance of h from the center, we apply a force F at a distance of h from the center. Now in this case, since friction is not equal to 0, the friction force will act on the body. Okay, can you tell me in which direction the friction force will act? Is it on the right side or left side? See, friction force will act or not. Because on the surface mu is not equal to 0, which means friction is there. Okay, now where in which direction friction will act? Is it on the left side or on the right side? Left. Okay, right. How it is right? Can you tell me why it is right? See, I'll tell you why. Because of the friction force, right? Okay, why it is right? I'm asking you why friction force will act on the right? Because the particle of the base tends to move on the left side. Very good, man. Very good. Very good. Correct answer. Correct answer. Okay. See, why the friction force will be on the right side for this body? See, if you look at this force, if you look at this force, then The force, the external force will produce some torque. Okay, what is the direction of that torque? See, for this force, the r vector will be along this side. Am I correct? This is the r vector. Now, if you find the torque of this vector, if you find the torque of this vector, torque will be equal to r cross f vector, r cross f vector. Okay. Now here r vector is equal to h, so it is f h h f sine theta or sine 90 degree we can take. So hf is the torque. Okay. Direction of this torque, it is inside the plane. Okay. Okay. The direction of torque will be inside the plane. Okay. Now the body tends to rotate in the direction of the torque, which means this body will rotate with an angular acceleration of alpha in clockwise direction. Am I correct? Because the torque is inside the plane, so this object will move with an angular acceleration of alpha, that is in clockwise direction. Fine. Now when it moves in clockwise direction, then you look at the point of contact, the particle at the point of contact. This point will tends to move on the left side because of the angular acceleration alpha. Therefore, the friction will act opposite to the point of contact. Means this point of contact will try to move on the left side. So friction will force will act on the right side. Okay. Did you understand this? Why the friction force is acting on the right side in this case? Okay. So whenever you have to find the direction of the friction, what you do? You assume there is no friction and then see where the point of contact is moving. Is it moving on the left side or on the right side? And you apply the friction force opposite to the motion of the particle. Okay. So the friction force will act on the right side in this case. Okay. Did you all understand up to this point? Yes or no? And the friction force which is acting on this case will be static friction or kinetic friction. The friction force acting in a pure rolling condition is a kinetic or static. It is static friction. I told you yesterday only, na? It is static, not kinetic. Okay. So this will be static friction. Now, if it is a static friction, then it is self-adjusting force. It is self-adjusting force. Self-adjusting force. So can I write friction equal to mu times or normal reaction? Is this possible? Can I write friction force as equal to mu times or normal reaction in this case? Can I write this? Yes or no? No. Yes. This is the condition for limiting or kinetic friction. This is the condition for limiting oblique kinetic friction. So we cannot write F equal to mu times of normal reaction in this case. Okay. So I hope you understand all this point. Why the friction force is acting on the right side? The friction force acting in the pure rolling condition is static friction, which is self-adjusting in nature. So we cannot write F equal to mu times of normal reaction. Okay. So these are the points which you have to remember. Okay. Now what we have to find? We have to find the value of the friction force. Okay. Now how we can find? See, we have two equations. First of all, we applied the force F. Because of this force F, the body will accelerate. So the center of the mass will accelerate with A. And since it is a pure rolling condition, alpha must be equal to A by R. Now we can apply two equations. One equation is the net force. One equation is what? Net force. Just wait, just give me 2 minutes. Let me solve this and I will show you the previous slide. Okay, fine. So if you apply first equation, net force equal to mass into acceleration. So what is the net force acting on this body? External force F on the right side plus friction force, that too on the right side, must be equal to mass into acceleration. That is equation number 1. Okay. Now second equation. Second equation we can find from torque. Okay. Now what is the torque of force F? That is F into H. Is it inside the plane, outside the plane? Inside the plane, cross. Plus the torque due to this friction, that is R vector, R into F, RF. Direction of this torque, outside the plane, dot. That must be equal to moment of inertia of the body, I into alpha. Now alpha is inside the plane or outside the plane? Alpha is inside the plane. Did you understand this? How did I write the torque equation here? F into H, because the torque due to the external force F will be equal to F into H inside the plane. What about the friction? For friction, the R vector is the radius of this body. R vector is the radius of this body. Okay, so friction, the torque due to this friction will be Rf outside the plane equal to I into alpha inside the plane cross. Did you understand this? Yes or no? Any doubt in this? You tell me. Any doubt in this equation? Okay, now I can take cross as negative. I will take cross as negative and dot as positive. Dot as positive. Yes, yes. Alpha will be in the same direction of the torque, net torque. Okay. But when you are going for pure rolling condition, you assume that there is no friction. Then you find the net torque. Okay, fine. How will the object will not stop here? Who is saying the object will stop? The object will keep on rolling on the surface. Now here friction force is not stopping the object. It will roll the object. Okay, it will roll the object. It won't stop the object here. Okay, so can we say here that minus FH plus RF must be equal to minus I alpha, or we can write like this: FH minus RF must be equal to I alpha. That is equation number 2. Okay, that is equation number 2. Fine. Now we know that alpha equal to A by R, so we can write here as FH minus RF must be equal to I into A by R. And what is I? I equal to KMR square. So we get FH minus RF equal to KMR square A by R. So 1 R get cancelled out. So this is the equation number 3. So we have two unknowns, F and F, and we have two equations. So we can solve these two unknowns. Okay. Did you understand how did I write the equation here? This is the torque equation which I have written. This is the torque equation. This is the net force is equal to mass into acceleration. And then I've used the concept of pure rolling. Okay. Any doubt in this equation which I have written? No. Okay, so please make a note of this. Then we'll do one numerical, then you will have a better understanding of this. Okay. Previous slide I saw. Okay. See. Are you getting some idea that how the rolling process is going on, how the rolling of the motion, how rolling is there, how the direction of the friction force? I think you all got this idea. Okay. Why it is confusing? Tell me, Pawan, what is the confusing here? I don't think anything is confusing here. You tell me. I think you are confused in the direction of the friction here. That why friction force is acting on the right side, why it is not acting on the left side. Am I correct? Huh. See, why it is so? See, just think the force which we are applying at a distance of h from the center, that force will produce the torque. Am I correct? That torque is inside the plane. Therefore, alpha will also be inside the plane. Because of that alpha, the point of contact will try to move on the left side. The point of contact will try to move on the left side. So the friction will always be opposite to the relative motion of the body. So it will act on this side, right side, in order to prevent the relative motion of the body or the point of contact. Here, pure rolling, here friction work is what? Its work is to prevent the what? Relative motion of the prevent the relative motion of the point of contact. So the point of contact is trying to move on the left side. So what is the purpose of that friction? It will act on the right side in order so that the point of contact velocity is zero or acceleration is zero at the bottom in order to have the pure rolling condition. Yes, without friction we cannot have pure rolling. Pure rolling is only possible when there is a friction force. Yes, that is why I gave you the previous example here. Here I told you that here alpha is there, here angular acceleration is there, but this is not the pure rolling condition. See, because there is no friction. So friction is required for pure rolling. The body can have alpha because of the force, but it won't be a pure rolling condition. Fine. That is why I've given you both the example. First initial problem, and then I gave you this one. Okay. What did you not understand last step? See, last step we have f into h minus rf equal to I alpha, because see, negative I have taken, cross I have taken negative, dot I have taken positive. So minus fh plus rf equal to minus I into alpha. So I have taken minus minus on both the sides. So we get fh minus rf equal to I alpha. Alpha is equal to a by r because it is a pure rolling condition. So we substituted the value here. We'll get fh minus rf equal to kmr square into a by r. This r get cancelled out. So this is the third equation which we are getting. Okay, I hope you all understand this. Okay, so let us do one problem based on this. Okay, the question is a solid sphere a solid sphere of mass say 5 kg and radius 2 meter. Okay, 5 kg and radius 2 meter. Okay, a solid sphere. Okay, uh, a solid sphere of mass 5 kg and radius 2 meter is having a pure rolling motion. Is having a pure rolling motion. Okay, pure rolling motion. A force of 10 Newton is applied at a distance of at a distance of 1 meter from the center. 1 meter from center, as shown in the figure. Find the friction force acting on the body. Find the friction force. Second, find alpha, angular acceleration. C part we can find A. Okay, we can find A. So the figure is given like this, that this is the center of the solid sphere. We apply a force of 10 Newton at a distance of 1 meter from the center. Fine. The friction is enough for pure rolling. The friction is sufficient for pure rolling. Okay. The friction is sufficient for pure rolling. We apply 10 Newton force at a distance of 1 meter from the center. A solid sphere of mass and radius 2 meter. Okay. You have to find the value of A, we have to find the value of alpha, we have to find the value of friction force. Okay. Fine. Here one thing you tell me before. Okay. Here friction force will act on the left side or right side. Can you tell me? Here friction force will act on the left side or right side? Right. Right. Okay. Left. Left. Okay. Left. 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 Right. Left. Left. Okay. So most of you are telling right. Left. So that is the correct answer. Left is the correct answer. See why it is left. See, if you look at this torque, as if you look at this external force 10 Newton, the torque of this external force is what? Outside the plane. Okay, torque is outside the plane. Therefore, therefore alpha will be anti-clockwise. If alpha is anti-clockwise, the friction force will act opposite to alpha, like this. Okay, fine. Did you understand why it is anti-clockwise? Because R cross F vector is outside the plane. Torque is outside the plane. That is okay. Now can you solve the value of friction force? Alpha and A value. F equal to 1. Okay. A equal to 2. Okay. What about alpha? Alpha is 1. Okay. B and C are subdivision. First part is friction force. Second part is A. Third part is alpha. You have to find. Okay. So, so you all solve. I will also solve. Okay. So don't look at my solution. Fine. You solve and get me the answer. I'll also solve. Okay. First equation is what? The net force equation. So F net equal to mass into acceleration. Okay. So this body will accelerate on this side A. Okay. Fine. So net force is how much? 10 minus friction force equal to mass of the body is 5, acceleration is A. That is equation number 1. Okay. Since it is a pure loading condition, alpha must be equal to A by R. Okay. Second equation is what? Torque equation. So for torque, 10 into 1, 10 into 1 outside the plane dot plus F into 2, F into 2 outside or inside the plane? Inside the plane cross equal to I into alpha. I into alpha outside the plane. Okay. F net equal to M into A. F net is 10 minus F equal to MA. Na? What is the problem in that? Okay. So can we write like this? 10 minus F into 2. 2F must be equal to I. I is equal to MR square. 2 by 5 MR square. 2 by 5 MR square. Okay. So 2 by 5 into 5 into 2 square. So it would be how much? 4 into 2, 8. Okay. 8 into alpha. 8 into alpha. Okay, so 10 minus 2f must be equal to 8. Alpha is equal to a by r is equal to 2. Okay, r is equal to 2. So we will get 10 minus 2f equal to 4a, or 5 minus f equal to 2a. Okay, so first equation is 5 minus f equal to 2a. Second equation is 10 minus f equal to 5a. Okay, cross is taken positive only, right? No, I have taken negative na cross. See, minus 2f. Cross is negative, dot is positive. How it is inside the plane, outside the plane for alpha? See, alpha, see, it's simple only that if you talk about alpha, see, one thing you can, one more thing is there. You can assume alpha in any direction, okay? If alpha is coming negative, then no problem, you put it negative there. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule that alpha should be like this. Fine. But friction we can easily find that friction should be always opposite to the point where the body is moving. Okay. Alpha you can take any direction, positive, negative. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule there. Okay. If it is, if you take anti-clockwise and answer is coming in negative, you take it positive. Negative means it would be in clockwise. That's it. Okay. So what answer we are getting from here? If you subtract both, we'll get 5 equal to minus 3a. Therefore, a must be equal to how much? Minus 5 equal to minus 3a. A must be equal to 5 by 3. What is alpha? Alpha will be equal to 5 by 6 radian per second square. This is meter per second square. Okay. So we got a equal to 5 by 3. Alpha is equal to 5 by 6 radian per second square. Okay. Now what about friction force? Friction force will be 5 minus f equal to 2 into 5 by 3. F must be equal to 5 minus 10 by 3. So 5 by 3 Newton. Am I correct? 5 by 3. Second equation, what formula I have used? This is the torque equation I have written. Net torque, net torque equal to I into alpha. Net torque of net torque of the force into I into alpha. Okay. Anyone got this answer? Just please check it out. Any mistake I have done, you tell me. Just see any mistake I have done, you tell me. So friction is what? 5 by 3 Newton. Uh, what is the value of A is equal to 5 by 3 meter per second square. Alpha is equal to 5 by 6. Okay. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? You can ask me. No doubt. Okay. You got the answer for this problem? The answer which I have got here. Okay. Very good. Okay. Fine. So did you understand all this thing? Any doubt? No. Okay. Are you getting some idea that what we are doing here? How we are doing this? How torque is in the left direction? See, let me explain to you. See, if you talk about 10 Newton force, what is the R vector for the 10 Newton force? That is 1 meter. This is the R vector. R vector is downward like this for 10 Newton force I'm talking about. 10 Newton force is on this side. So direction of this force, R vector will be equal to how much? 1 meter. Direction of this force will be what? R cross R cross F means you curl your finger from R to 10 Newton. Where is the thumb pointing? Thumb is pointing outside the plane. So torque will be equal to 10 into 1 outside the plane. For the external force F. For friction force, why can't we use? See, that formula was different formula, okay? That formula which we have derived, where there the force was acting above the center point. Here it is downward. That is why I changed the force. There is a difference between these two problems. No? See, in this problem, I have applied the force below the center of the mass. In the derivation, I have applied above the center of the mass. So torque direction will change now. Yes or no? Hello? Sir, fine, sir. Sir, I'm in class. I'm in class, sir. I'm in class. Okay, okay. I'll check, sir. I'll check. Okay, okay, fine. So that is the problem. Now, next concept is, see, the alpha will always be in the direction of the net torque acting on the body. That is why when I am writing here, net torque equal to I into alpha. This is what? Newton's second law in rotational form. Newton's second law in rotational form. Then net torque equal to I into alpha. Okay. So alpha, like when we use F net equal to mass into acceleration. There we were telling you that the acceleration direction is same as the force direction. Net force direction. Is here also same. The alpha direction will be same as net torque direction. Okay. Now next concept is the motion on the inclined plane. Okay, the rolling motion on the inclined plane. Fine. The rolling motion on the inclined plane. Now let us suppose inclined plane. Okay. Now let us suppose we have a body whose mass is m, a body of mass m and radius r. Okay, is rolling down the inclined plane. Is rolling down the inclined plane. Is rolling down the inclined plane at an angle theta with the horizontal. With horizontal. Okay. Now here the body is having pure rolling motion. Okay. Now let us take the example here. Suppose this is the body here, and this body and the friction is enough for pure rolling. Means friction is sufficient for pure rolling condition. Okay. Fine. Friction is sufficient for pure rolling. Now in this case, which force is which force is responsible for producing the torque, or which force is responsible? Now my video and audio is fine. Okay. Now, if you look at this body, which is placed on the inclined plane, then we analyze the forces acting on this body. Now, one force is what? Mg sine theta. Yes, the mg sine theta is the force which is acting downward. Mg sine theta is the force which is acting downward. Okay. Now, what about mg sine theta? Now, at which point mg sine theta will be acting? At which point the mg sine theta will be acting? At the center of the mass. Very good. Very good. So mg sin theta will act on the center of the mass. Now can you think of one point? Can this mg sin theta provide the torque for rolling, for pure rolling? No, it cannot provide the torque because we are finding the torque about the center of the mass. Okay, so this mg sin theta will not provide any torque. Okay, now can you tell me one thing? Yes, can you tell me one thing? In which direction the friction force should act in the given condition? Is it in up the inclined plane or down the inclined plane? Up the inclined plane. Yes, very good. It should be up the inclined plane. Why? Because of this mg sin theta, because of the mg sin theta, this body will try to move this part, this point of contact will try to move on the downward direction. So friction will act in the opposite direction. That is opposite direction. That is up the inclined plane. The radius of the body is r. The mass is m. Okay. Now can you write what? Can you write the equation of motion here? First equation will be what? First equation is that net force. Now see, this body will have a pure rolling, so this will rotate with angular acceleration alpha. Okay, fine. So alpha will be equal to a by r. Okay, this body will accelerate with a. Fine. So we can use one equation that F net equal to mass into acceleration. So what is the F net acting on this body? That is mg sine theta minus friction force must be equal to mass into acceleration. That is the first equation. Okay, A is the linear acceleration of this body. A is the linear acceleration of the body. A is linear acceleration of body. And what is alpha? Alpha is angular acceleration. Since it is a pure rolling condition, alpha must be equal to A by R. Okay. So one equation is what? Mg sin theta minus friction equal to mass into acceleration. Second equation, can you tell me? That net torque equal to I into alpha. Yes. So we can use next equation, that is net torque equal to I into alpha. What is the net torque acting on this body? Is mg sin theta providing any torque? No, because it is passing through the center of the mass. So which force is providing the torque here? The friction force. Only friction is providing the torque. No, mg sin theta won't provide any torque because it is passing through the center of the mass. And what is the value of the torque here? That is F into R. F into R must be equal to I into alpha. F into R equal to I into alpha. Is this correct? Yes or no? To alpha. Fine. Okay. Direction will be same because uh, FR F into R is outside the plane and alpha is also outside the plane. So both directions are same. Okay. Fine. Now let us suppose that we take I equal to kmr square. Means we can take for any body. We are generalizing this condition. Okay. So we can write here as Fr equal to kmr square. And what is alpha? Alpha is equal to A by R because it is a pure rolling condition. Pure R into A. R get cancelled out. We get friction force equal to Kma. Kma is the value of the friction force acting on the body. So friction force acting on this body is K into M into A. Fine. Any doubt up to this point? You tell me. The friction force will be equal to Kma. Okay. Fine. Now if you equate equation number 2 with equation number 1, so what we can find? that mg sine theta minus friction force, which is kma, must be equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, so we will get what? Mg sine theta must be equal to mass into acceleration common 1 plus k. 1 plus k. Okay. Something I have done wrong here, you tell me. F into R must be equal to kmr square. So friction force will come as kmr kma. Okay. Okay. So what is the value of friction force? What is the value of A? So A will be equal to g sine theta divided by 1 plus k. That is the acceleration of the body. G sine theta 1 plus a. Okay. G sine theta 1 plus a. We cannot write F equal to mu mg because this is not a static friction. It is not a kinetic friction. We cannot write F equal to mu mg since in pure rolling we have static friction. In pure rolling we have static friction. Okay, that is one. So what is the acceleration of this body? That would be equal to how much? G sine theta 1 plus k. G sine theta 1 plus k. Okay. Any doubt in this? You can tell me. Fine. Now when you change the value of k, you will change the value of acceleration also. Okay. When you change the body, you will change the value of k. Fine. And what about friction force? The friction force will be equal to how much? Kma. Okay. So friction force will be equal to k into mass into acceleration. That is g sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay. That is the value of friction force. Fine. Static friction is not equal to mu mg. I told you when I was teaching you friction. It is not equal to mu mg. It is only, it is self-adjusting in nature. So it will change according to the condition given to us. Okay. Did you all understand this? Any doubt in this case? How to find the acceleration of the body, pure rolling condition? How to find the acceleration on the inclined plane? How to find the value of friction force? Okay. Any doubt you can ask me. No. So can I give you one problem based on this? Okay. The question is a disk of mass 2 kg and radius r equal to 1 meter is rolling on an inclined plane of angle 45 degree. Okay, on an inclined plane. No, don't take 45 degree. Take as 30 degree. Okay, fine. A disk of mass 2 kg radius r is rolling on an inclined plane of angle 30 degree. Okay, the friction is sufficient for pure rolling. Sufficient for pure rolling. Find First part, the acceleration of the body. Second part, the friction force acting on the body. Okay, the acceleration of the body and the friction force acting on the body. Fine. Acceleration is g by 3. Okay. See, the same method we will apply. Acceleration is 10 by 3. Okay. What about friction? mg by 6. Okay. Okay. So this body will roll down with an acceleration a. Fine. Mg sin theta will be acting from the center. This inclination is 30 degree. The friction force is acting on the back side. Radius is 1 meter. Radius is 1 meter. Okay. Fine. Mass is 2 kg. So first equation we write net force equal to mass into acceleration. So what is the net force? That is mg sin force must be equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, fine. Okay, so mg sin theta value is how much? 2 into 10 sin 30 is half minus friction equal to 2 into a. So 10 minus friction equal to 2 into a. That is equation number 1. Second equation, net torque equal to I into alpha. Okay, so net torque is F into R equal to moment of inertia of the body is mr square by 2. Alpha is equal to A by R. So we will get friction equal to MA by 2. MA by 2. Am I correct? MA by 2. Okay, that is equation number 2. So we will get 10 minus MA by 2 must be equal to 2 into A. Okay, so 10 minus 2 into A by 2 equal to 2 into A. A equal to 5 meter per second square. What about friction? Friction will be equal to, no, 5. I think this is the answer. No, what mistake I have done? Tell me. Friction is equal to MA by 2 only, no? MR square by 2 into A by R get cancel out. MA by 2. We substitute the value here. Sorry. No, I got it. A must be equal to 10 by 3. A must be equal to 10 by 3 and F must be equal to MA by 2 means 10 by 3 Newton. 10 by 3 Newton, yes. This is the answer. Okay. Did you understand this? Yes or no? Okay. Now, okay, got the answer. Fine. Very good. Now, one thing you tell me, if I ask you, what is the condition for rolling without slipping? Means how much maximum friction should be applied so that the body will roll only. It won't slide on the surface. on an inclined plane. See, the condition for no slipping. Okay, the condition for rolling without slipping. When can be possible? Rolling without slipping. This can be possible when the friction force which we are getting is less than or the equal to the limiting friction. The friction force which we are getting means static friction can be maximum up to limiting friction or lesser than limiting friction. So the condition for pure rolling in that case will be equal to how much? Friction force is kmg sine theta divided by 1 plus k should be less than equal to mu times of m into g. Okay, so mu mg cancel out. So we get k sine theta divided by 1 plus k should be less than equal to mu. That is the required mu so that the body can have pure rolling. That is k sine theta 1 plus k. Maximum value of the mu means for pure rolling, the coefficient of friction should be always be lesser than or equal to k sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay, it should be less than or equal to k sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay, did you understand this? Simple it is because for pure rolling we should have static friction. Okay, see rod can pure roll. Rod can uh, rod can also roll. Okay, see rolling basically you will understand like this. Rolling means what? The body should have a point contact. Okay, so in the case of rod also you can have a point contact, but that rod will not be a rod because rod when we are talking about rod, it has no area, it has only length. Okay, so instead of rod we can take cylinder, hollow cylinder, solid cylinder, then that can be rolling object. Instead of rod we can take hollow cylinder, solid cylinder. Okay, fine. Now formula for the friction in the what value of k you have written there? What value of k you have put there? Half. So half mg sine theta divided by half. Uh, it is getting na half into 2 into g sine theta is sine 30 is 1 by 3 1 by 2. So 2 get cancelled out. G by 3 G by 3 is the answer. 10 by 3 is the answer. See, 10 by 3 is the answer. No? M sine 30 is half. M is equal to 2. So half get cancel out. Na? M is equal to 2. Okay. So M get cancel out. K equal to half. So in numerator you have half. Denominator you have 3 by 2. Then half get cancel out. So 10 by 3. That is the same answer. Okay. Now in this question, can you find in this problem? Can you find the next part of this problem is find find mu find the value of mu for pure rolling, or we can say like this: find the value of mu for the condition of pure rolling. Find mu for the condition of pure rolling. Okay, mu equal to 1 by 6. What is the normal reaction in this case? It is mg cos theta. It is not mg. Don't make that mistake. Okay. The normal reaction will be what? Normal reaction will be n, and this will be mg cos theta, cos 30 degree. Okay. So the friction force which we have found should be less than or equal to the limiting friction, which is mu times of normal reaction. Okay, fine. So that would be equal to how much? 10 by 3 less than equal to mu into mg cos 30. So mg, m is 2, g is 10, cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this 10, 10, half cancel out. So 1 by 3 root 3 less than equal to mu. So mu value should be less than or equal to 1 by 3 root 3. It should not be greater than, it should be less than. The friction force acting in the pure rolling should be lesser than or equal to limiting friction. No? Should be less than or equal to limiting friction. Okay. So what is the value of mu? That should be equal to 1 by 3 root 3. Less than or equal to 1 by 3 root 3. See, again you cannot apply mu equal to tan theta, because that is the condition which we will apply when the body start roll, means start rolling on the, means start moving on the inclined plane. So here theta can be more than that also. Okay. See, all concepts you should keep in your mind before solving this rolling motion. Here it is static friction, not kinetic friction. Okay, static friction. Fine. Now, next thing you have to find is suppose the suppose the distance on the inclined plane is s. Can you find the time taken by the body to reach the bottom of the inclined plane? If the distance on the inclined plane is s, then can you find the time taken by the body to reach the bottom? Okay. The same condition is that we have a body of mass m, radius r. Okay. Moment of inertia you can take kmr square. Generalized body we can take. Okay. All the conditions are same as the derivation which we have done. This one. Okay. So you have to find the value of, okay. So I think we can use the previous data that acceleration of the body is equal to how much? G sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay. Acceleration is G sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay. Fine. Now, this is the constant value. If it is the constant value, can we apply equation of motion along the inclined plane? So if you apply equation of motion along the inclined plane, then S equal to ut ut plus half at square, S equal to ut plus half at square. Fine. So displacement S must be equal to initial velocity is 0, that is half a into t square. So displacement S equal to half, what is the value of a? That is g sine theta divided by 1 plus k into t square. So time taken to reach the bottom is equal to square root of 2s 1 plus k divided by g sine theta. That is the time taken for the body to reach the bottom of the inclined plane. Okay. that is 2s 1 plus k divided by g sine theta. Fine. Understood. Can we find the velocity of the body? We can also find the velocity when it reaches the bottom. So suppose this body reaches the bottom here with velocity v. Initial velocity was 0. So s must be equal to how much? V square minus u square by 2 into a. So v square. So s equal to v square divided by 2 into a. What is the value of a? That is g sine theta 1 plus k. G sine theta 1 plus k. So velocity when it reaches the bottom is square root of 2s g sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Okay, that is the velocity with which it will reach the bottom. That is 2gs sine theta divided by 1 plus k. Fine. Did you all understand this? Yes or no? So we have found the velocity when it reaches the bottom. We have found the time when it reaches the bottom. We have found the friction force. We have found the acceleration. We have found the alpha. All the thing we can find here. Okay, fine. So I think time is going to up. Any doubt you can ask me. You can see all the slides here. First one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Okay. Any doubt? Okay, so I think chapter is almost over. Only one concept is remaining, that is energy conservation, which we will do in the next class. Okay, and one thing more. Okay, you complete all the NCRT problems of this chapter, chapter number 7. Okay, all the NCRT portion. Test portion is same, that is full rotational dynamics will come, center of the mass will come, all the topic will come. Okay, lesson is not over, it is going